Hello everyone, this is Godzilla1 and I'm back with another toy review, and today's review will be of the Power Rangers Super Megaforce Q-Rex Megazord, not to of course be confused, or Legendary Q-Rex Megazord I believe was the full name, not to be confused with the Q-Rex Megazord from Time Force, though from the looks of it, it probably was based off the same thing. Even though in Japan this was a completely different robot, that's only really association with Time Force's Q-Rex is that it uses the Time Force Greater Power for one of its modes. Super Megaforce was not very good. The toys were actually pretty decent though. Now, first off, I would like to apologize for no toy review or anything on Friday last week. Long story short, my recording day came and I was sick. I actually recorded my video of my round 2 of the fight with Jevil later than I really intended to because I was sick. I could not talk all that well on my recording day, and I just wanted to get one thing recorded, and that ended up being Deltarune. If you came to my live stream on Wednesday, you probably saw that I was sick. So yeah, and that's also the reason there was no live stream on Saturday. It was because, again, I was sick, and when I got home from work, I could hardly talk. But anyway, let's get on to the review. And this is actually a pretty nice toy. Though this mode is not its strongest mode, but it really wasn't in Gokaiger either. This is its drill tank mode, which does roll. Like, not very well, mind you, but it does roll. It's got a wheel on the bottom of this and on the bottom of each of the arm. Well, 2 wheels on the bottom of each arm. If you want to and prefer how it looks, you can actually invert the arms around by flipping them around thanks to Zord Builder and get these into a more like back here configuration, but this is the official way if I remember correctly. I don't have my instructions anymore because basement. Long story short, my parents stored a lot of my boxes in the basement and it didn't end well. But anyway, here we have it, and nice detail, but this is obviously its thrown together mode. Nice paint though, like I love the blue paint, and that they have a lot of silver paint actually. Like, Super Megaforce's toy line actually was not that bad of a toy line. And in some cases actually did make some nice upgrades to a few things. But yeah, they did skimp out on the silver paint on the legs, but lots of nice molded detail. That is one thing I will give Super Megaforce's toy line. Lots of molded detail. If you are a customizer, I highly recommend these figures because you have a lot of opportunities to do some customizing if you so choose. And nothing really on the bottom except for some more molded detail, and that's where a lot of stuff is in my autofocus. Not really happy for some reason. It seems every time I do one of the Super Megaforce toys in review, my camera goes all wonky. I don't know why, but nice booster engines on the back here. Something about it just makes the autofocus go nuts. I don't know what it is. But nice booster engines on the feet, which I like that detail, because it's basically the only thing that makes this look like a ship, except for like the battleship head right here. But it does have a gimmick in this mode, and in all of its modes actually, and to do that we will need the Ranger Key, who is the Red Dino Thunder Ranger, or Abba Red from, or Abired, or Abba Red, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, I don't speak Japanese, but the Red Abba Ranger from, and over here, I like this Ranger actually a lot. I like Dino Thunder, it's one of my favorite seasons. Very nicely painted. I do give them credit. These Ranger keys were actually really cool. Even if the show didn't really give them the credit they deserved. And another upgrade, if you don't forget, over the Japanese version, actual spring. Which reveals the QR code if you have the app for this, I guess. And the Dino Thunder logo there. Now, what do you do with this? You insert it into this slot on top of the drill and slam it down, and it makes the drill spin. Ooh, okay, that gimmick sucks. This toy does do a couple this toy line did do a couple cool things. That's not one of them. Neither is the fact that the transformation skimped out and this is more parts forming than the Japanese version had. Still, nice that they worked. I did give them credit making the Ranger keys activate the gimmicks on these figures. that is one they get over Japan. The gimmicks just weren't always all that good. But I do appreciate that they did incorporate the Ranger keys into working with them, where in Gokaiger, generally the gimmicks were separate from the keys, which didn't really make all that sense. But this is only one mode. Let's move on to the form associated with the Zoo Ranger / MMPR. First, turn the tail up like that. Give it one click there. Disconnect the legs from the top and move the hips forward, locking them in place. Do the same on the other side. And bend everything back and crunch the leg ankle forward, which I will give it credit for. He has working knees and working ankles, which is cool. And these joints are actually rather stiff. Not the connection point to the Zord Builder ports, but the actual knee joint is actually rather nice. Then take the arms off the back, plug them in here, and last but not least, take the head, rotate it up, and move him back so my camera can actually hopefully get him all in frame at once. And there you have him in his his Dino mode, which I love this mode. This is the mode associated with Dragon Caesar in Japan / the Dragon Zord in America. Very cool mode. I do like it, and let's get a look on everything from the bottom up to the top. I love the chest, which is now properly visible. It has Silver / Gokai Silver's logo right there in the middle. I always loved his logo. It looks really cool. I like the anchor. Nice blue paint, nice gold, nice silver. The head, fairly nice, though the teeth are kind of weird. Like, the teeth just look kind of weird. Nice red eyes. The head crest, again, with the symbol right there. Claws are painted, which I do appreciate. Of course, we do lose some articulation. If I remember right, the Japanese version has articulated claws, which unfortunately we lost. And going down the back, you get the tail, which is kind of static. Not much you can do about it. In fact, if that does not do that right, he can't really even stand properly. Do have the dorsal spines down the back. They're not picked out in paint or anything, but you know, they are good, and overall, I do think he's good. He's just so, due to his tail, I can't turn him right. But he is a good figure. I do like him, and I like this mode. He looks really cool. As for articulation, you can move his head up all the way, and it is stiff enough you can hold it in those, even though he's ratchets into the two places. The top and bottom jaw can move. You want to be careful, though, because there's a fist in his mouth. He's piping on a Zord Builder joint. Due to how it's shaped, you just can't really do much directly, and you can't really twist it and reattach it in any other way. That's a missed opportunity, but I'm not sure how they could have fixed it. Arms can move 360, which is nice. Tail can swivel, and if you want to, you can kind of do something like that, which looks actually not too bad, due to the arm joint there. You know, gimmick still works down here in this mode. In Japan, this was spring-loaded, which I wish it was, and this just, like, activated the spring. That's what should have happened, but that's not what we got. Hips can move. They're kind of limited due to the, you know, tail section back here, but they can move. Knees are ratcheted. He has a ratcheted knee joint up here, which I want to say the Japanese version didn't have. I don't know off the top of my head, but part of me says that the Japanese version did not have that part of the articulation. The knee can move forward that far. And it's stiff enough it can hold anywhere even though it wants to ratchet to that position. And ankles can move that far. They can't move any far back, which is a waste opportunity. But overall, he is actually rather articulated. Like, he has a lot of articulation. And if you finagle him enough, and, you know, his joints don't pop out of whack. Let's see, can I get him in the right pose I'm going for? You can get him into a bit of the old school, the proper T-Rex sauropod pose, which I find really cool. So yeah, he actually has a bit more articulation than most other, than a lot of Sentai mechas did, and that was also true of Gozujin, which is really nice. I like that we got an articulated mecha, which I'm looking forward to the Beast Morphers line, because it looks like some of their stuff will have articulation to a degree as well. So I like that, and I like that they kept, they gave him a good bit of articulation in both the American and Japanese versions. As for other features, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 Zord Builder forts on his back, 1 on each side of each knee. A female Zord Builder port right there, and Zord Builder ports right here that are sockets. So he actually has a lot of customizing you can do. You can actually do a lot with him and make him kind of really cool. And an extra nice little bonus feature, these particular Zord Builder joints can ratchet into this. This really doesn't serve much purpose for him individually, but it does mean that ones with more recessed joints, like the red, Megaforce Red's Dragon Zord, can actually use those joints to attach, which is kind of cool because he's unique in that regard. But anyway, that's everything to do with this mode, which is cool and all, but we are getting him into his truthful robot mode. Straighten out the legs. Kind of Beast Wars-esque there. Put the arms back on the back, like so. And you can do this however you want. You can fold them up, or, you know, you can do what you want with them. You can also fold these out, and it kind of does make it easier. But we're just going to go with this for the moment. And move him back. Next up, we want to take the drill, attach it to this arm, take the T-Rex head, unfold the jaw to reveal the fist, which unfortunately lacks any paint. And lastly, you want to take that, fold it out, and let's move him back a little bit further so you can see, and fold out the horns, and there you have him in his proper robot mode, which looks really cool. I'm pretty sure this is the mode that uses the Abba Ranger key, which made Abba Ranger's greater power / down offender, which makes a lot of sense. And really powerful looking robot. Like, this is one of my favorite robots because from Gokaiger, because it just looks so powerful. Like the broad shoulders, the big chest. He just looks really, really strong. Now, not a lot of details revealed. It's mostly the same details as in the other mode, except, you know, now he has a hand instead of a robot, and this is now shoulder pads, which does give him a really nice look. And I like the arrows that go across. And, of course, the head, which is very derivative of the original MMPR Megazord with the horns that fold out. And also has a bits of the Q-Rex Megazord in there, too. So, there's no head articulation, which is unfortunate because there's really no reason there shouldn't be. But I like that it has kind of combinations of the mecha that compose him. As for articulation, again, this is on a shoulder, you know, your standard Sentai articulation. But you do get an outward range of motion on that arm. This arm, you know, just the normal. Though, if you want to, there is really nothing stopping you from doing that to get his arm straight out. Except for the fact that it really does not like to fit like that. And sorry for the bad camera work, my tripod's not agreeing with me right now. He does have, you know, the forward articulation at the knees, can now go all the way up. No backward, unfortunately. But does still get his 90-degree knee, and now has a thigh swivel and the ankle joints, which means he can actually get some poses that not a lot of Sentai Mecha can actually do, like an almost sort of running pose, which, that is cool. I like that he can do that. Bravo, Bandai. That is cool that we have yeah, this was still Bandai. Bravo, Bandai, you gave us a robot that can do this. And if you guys switch which leg is going which direction, of course. So that he's, you know, doing that. You can have him charge forward with the drill arm if you do it right. Which, of course, looks really cool. Unfortunately, the drill does not open like it does in the Japanese version. I really wish it did, because it does on this show. But sadly, it doesn't. That is one big drawback, is this does not open, it does not do anything else. I get it's probably for cost cutting, but I seriously don't like it. But still, all in all, not a bad thing, and not a bad toy. If you can't get the Japanese version, which I admit the Japanese version is superior to this one, like it definitely is in a lot of ways, like the gimmick is better, the various things are better about it, and overall, if you can get the Japanese version, I would say get it, but this is a fair substitute and looks really pretty good. Anyway, here, and then we have Gokaiyo slash the legendary Megazord over here for size comparison, and about the same height. Of course, they are meant to combine in this case, which in this case consists of remove Gokaiyo's arms, remove his arms, give arms to Gokaiyo, and yeah, now that's the combination. That is Gozu Gokaiyo, which I don't know many people who like this combination. It looks good, but it doesn't look but it's not a good combination. It just looks kind of cool. Thankfully, thanks to Zord Builder, we can actually do something about this. Like, for example, these guys who are sitting off to the side, of course, you can just give them to him as arms, which you never saw on the show. You can put them up here with these ports up here and have them be shoulder cannons. You can attach them to the sides of the legs and have them be knee cannons. You can, let's see, what else could you maybe do? Have them, like, attach onto the back of him various ways to be back cannon. Or, of course, something you can't do in the Japanese version, and is a good idea to do, a good idea to be able to do, is remove his legs, because we saw a lot of them that do something similar to this. So, with the accessory mecha, there, now he's got all the limbs, and it actually looks pretty cool. I do like this. It's not having all of them, and you've got a torso laying over here. Of course, you can just do this, which the Japanese version could not do. Unfortunately. Well, that is my dog. She is not very happy about that noise that just occurred. Of course, you can do this, and that works a little bit better. Not the greatest thing ever, but Zord Builder does give some capabilities. And there are more ways, like you can, say, have these be like shoulders for this guy, and have these pop into that because they can pop in vertically. You can combine these in a lot of ways that the Japanese version couldn't, so you actually do get the option to fix what is largely seen as a lackluster combination. Like, one thing I like to do is have these, because they got knees on them, of course, have these up here, and have him have his regular legs, and have these be shoulder cannons, which is always fun. I also found out several ways you can combine the legs to make them look a little better. But overall, not perfect, and not as good as the Japanese version, because especially if the gimmick was, if the arm was the same. Here's the thing, if the arm was the same as the Japanese version, had the same gimmick and everything, but was activated by this, I would probably say, this is a very good buy. Like, I would say that this is an adequate replacement in every regard. At present, I would say this is only really a replacement if you want to have it combined with the legendary Megazord and you want to... you don't really care about the Japanese version. If you care about the Japanese version and really want the Japanese version, it's way better. But if you just want a representation of this robot in your collection, I'd say go for it, because this is a good one. It at least looks the part, and it can actually do a few things the Japanese version couldn't, like combine to Gokaiyo slash the legendary Megazord a lot better, because you can just disassemble it and put the parts anywhere you want thanks to Zord Builder. Well, no matter what you say about the Zord Builder system, I think this was the best season to do it with. So I give it my recommendation. If you think you want it, go for it. Anyway, this has been Godzilla Wolf 1. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.